Play, baby. Let's play. What's up, y'all? If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are on the internet, thank you for joining us. This is Morning Journal session number 203. Yes. It's a beautiful morning, folks. Glad to have you here. Excited about the conversation that we have on deck. Capsules. Wait, I'm on YouTube? That's you in the spotlight. Absolutely. So as we get ready to get the session started, and I drink this comical, I got a cup from 7-Eleven, but I promise you it's full of water and nothing else. Let's get ready to check in real quick. Let's see how we're doing today. We'll keep it pretty simple. All right, where we at? So let us know. Right now I am. That is the check-in prompt we're going to use. Right now I am blank. You can give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10 if you like. Just let us know how you are. You can give us an adjective or a description of your state of being and put it on a scale. Let me know where you at. So Mez is excited. Love that. Theta is grateful and content, or grateful and content. Are you content or are you content? He's like, I'm both, baby. All right. So Theta's at a 9. Shark Day said head empty but nervous. Maybe like a 5. Okay. Well, the nature of my connection is such that Facebook is just going to have to get how they live. I'm not going to go and do that extra share. They'll find it. Because I feel like I'm running on fumes over here on the connection side. Tallest Dome says, I feel like a 10 right now. I love that. I'm glad to see that you're feeling well today. Britt is also 10. Theta is moving towards 10. I'm loving the energy right now. Chino, 8 out of 10. The hump day hasn't given us any blues. I know the hump day can give you the blues sometimes. So I'm glad to see that y'all are doing okay. Maybe okay is an understatement. Better than okay. Shark Day says, I'm just hoping that number won't lower today. Well, you know, even if it does, we don't necessarily, I think sometimes when we cling to a state, you're like, oh, I don't want this to ever end. You know, just be with it, notice it, appreciate it, savor it, you know. Meds is alive, 10 out of 10. I love that. All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead and I have more than one check-in. Like, savor the nectar of the now. I hear you, Theta. Yeah. Be present with it and be okay with the fact that it's temporary. Like, it's going to change, right? So mom is here early this morning. I knew she was going to get up early this morning because she want to see me. So we can go ahead and drop some green hearts in the chat. Y'all already know. Shark Day says, oh, I got to take my medicine. Yeah, take those meds. Take those meds for sure. And let's get ready to get into our next check-in prompt. Kurt Cochane is in the building. What's happening, Kurt? It's good to see you this morning. I hope things have been going well for you. You came in just in time to check in with us. So my mom is coming in at a 9, but sleepy. Feeling good, but sleepy. I think it's legitimate to be sleepy right now. That's valid. I will allow it. Cap is coming with the threats. He's like, yo, answer the question or be erased from existence. I think you can still exist if you don't answer the question, but Cap just wants to know how everybody's doing. Welcome in, Cap Boy. Appreciate you. So let's get a little bit more specific in our check-in. Here's what we got. Describe where you are right now and how it feels to be there. Your Cap is aggressively positive. I think aggressive is always going to be a modifier to describe. Aggressively is a great adverb for Cap. So describe where you are right now and how it feels to be there. Where are you right now and how does it feel to be there? Now you can take this literally and look at your physical space, or you can take a more philosophical or, existential view of the question. Like, where are you in your life? Zombie Slayer is here. Welcome in. So Jehovah Thickness says, mentally I'm exhausted, but physically I'm doing great. Mentally exhausted, but physically, yeah, doing great. I can appreciate that. I mean, there is something that is underappreciated when our bodies feel good. The mind and body are connected in so many ways, and sometimes we can kind of work on one to indirectly work on the other. So Shark Days says, physically standing in the middle of my room, packing my bag to go to Dad's. Catboy is currently drawing on my computer, and I feel tired and ready to start the day. Tired but ready. I love it. Theta says, I'm alone in my apartment, but I'm full in my heart and it's cozy. Sending love to you all. In solitude, but full of love to share. That's a beautiful place to be. Mez says, I am open to growth, to learning and expanding my inner world in order to apply it elsewhere. The place I am in is an open place. That's beautiful. Tallest Gnome is coming down from a day-long anxiety attack. It feels nice to let go of the tension. And that's quite an ordeal. And I'm glad that you're in a better place right now. And that you can notice that better place that you're in. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you came here to share that with us, because we've been on a journey together this week, since you've been coming in here and sharing your experience with us. So it's great to have you here and to see that you're in a better place right now than you were before. We celebrate that with you. Shark Days is mentally preparing myself for an emotional change, but trying to be in a better spiritual place. That is where I am. In a space of preparation. All right. Zombie Slayer says, well, mentally right now I'm getting tired, but physically I'm doing good, even though it's been hard. So you've suffered some loss and still struggling with that. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences. My condolences. I mean, that loss is something that has touched a lot of us. And I know it's a very difficult thing to work through grief. So hang in there and hang out in here with us. Hopefully you'll sense some connection and have a moment's reprieve and maybe see a little bit of light. So Tim says, I am so open and ready for new knowledge and feelings. It feels scary to have real feels, but overall, welcoming. Yeah. In a place of new feelings, a scary place, but an exciting place, no less. Because, you're welcoming it. And that's awesome. All right, so Cap says, I'm mentally exhausted by work. I feel like I'm in a metaphorical hell. I'm sorry. That kind of comes out in some of the things that you say. And I know that you're not really satisfied with the way that work is taking up so much of your time and emotional energy. You're not getting a lot of satisfaction out of that part of your life based on conversations that we've had. So, but I also know that you're really creative and resilient, and whatever the situation is, maybe there is a way that you can find your way through to the other side of it, where you can experience more joy, dare I say. So Zombie Slayer says, I had to make time for myself because I was getting bad. So I found a better person for me. So you're trying. And I appreciate the love and support that everyone is sharing, and the ways that we are all kind of in solidarity and sitting with you through this. It's beautiful to see. All right, so Chino says, spiritually better in all aspects. I feel cleansed of negativity and it feels amazing. I love that, Chino. That's awesome. Beautiful. I love to see that. I love to see the places that we are. And I love to know that if we are in a place, if we are in the place that we don't want to be, knowing that there is another place to get to, whatever it is that you are going through is not permanent. Even though it might seem that way, even though it might seem like it keeps coming back and making your life less good, we are amazing in our ability to overcome things. All right. Let's take a couple deep breaths, and we can get into our conversation for today, or some of the things kind of related to our conversation for today. Zombie Slayer has to leave right now. Well, I'm glad that you stopped through, and I hope to see you again soon. And please take care of yourself. All right, let me take a look. SpaghettiOs, welcome in. So some of the conversations that we had earlier this week, and I think maybe Chino mentioned something around this, and maybe it was kind of embedded in some of the commentary that Cap had, and Tallest Known, we talked a little bit about burnout. And I wanted to kind of address that in some of the ways that I've noticed that it might play itself out for us, how we end up in that place. So one of the places that burnout can come from is a lack of seasonality. So seasonality is just like a concept of having, going through cycles. Maybe it's not a great metaphor anymore because there's so many places where, the seasons don't seem to make sense anymore for a variety of reasons. But in general, we know that there are certain times where certain things tend to happen, and when we live sort of in rhythm with seasons, a lot of times it gives us the space to be creative, to make things, to make impact, but it also gives us space to retreat and recharge. And I think for so many of us, we don't have the level of seasonality required to be healthy in our in the things that we produce and the things that we create. A lot of people might have a negative relationship with the very idea of productivity because of how much it seems to be a perpetual grind that gets you nowhere. But I think that in a very real way, we feel the most alive when we're being creative and making things and living into our potential in some ways. So we need to, in order to be as happy as we can be, as joyful as we can be, we need to find a way, I think, to make our contribution that we're capable of in a way that does not deplete us. And seasonality is a great way to do that. So we're going to be talking about some ideas of how we can sort of superimpose a level of seasonality in the way that we occupy our time and the way that we move through space so that we can create the impact that we're capable of and make the connections that we are capable of without burning out. So, with burning out, I'm not going to say without burning out. I'm going to say with maybe burning out less frequently and less catastrophically. There's so many forces that are kind of set up in our system and set up in the way that the modern world is organized that counteracts our ability to take the space that we need, or gives the illusion that we don't have the space and time that we need. But to a large degree, that's an illusion. It's a glitch in our relationship with things more so than, an actual problem that exists in the world. So we're going to talk about that. But I guess the first question to kind of lead that conversation is describing for me and for everyone in here, what season you're currently in. And there are a lot of metaphors that kind of accompany different things in the seasons. So if you look at the natural world, the spring, the spring is like a time of planting and opportunity and exploring new things. And the summer is a time to kind of protect those things, like you've planted, and now, you got to make sure that the varmints don't come and dig up all the stuff that you planted. You kind of have to build a fence around the things that you planted so they don't get ruined. You have to care for them. And then, of course, the fall is when you harvest everything. The work starts to pay off. The investments start to come in. And you start to reap the benefits of the work that you did in advance. And then winter is a time to survive. So winter is a time to survive. So you have the resources and the preparation that you've done so that you can shelter in place. Sheltering in place is not a hardship. when you've prepared for it. It's actually a place of deep rest if you have the resources and if you've set yourself up for it. So thinking about that metaphor, or maybe there's some other metaphors. There's some things that happen, the seasons cycle over the course of a day. You know, it's not necessarily matching a calendar, but think about, you know, projects that you're working on, growth that you are pursuing, or where you are in that process. So Mez is in jerk season. Mez is in jerk season. I can dig it. There you go. Jehovah Thickness says, I'm in the season of recovery. The season of recovery. Data says, I didn't prepare properly last year for this winter and it's been rough. And that's a lesson, right? It's like, man, why? I didn't set myself up. Shark Day says, I wish I was always in autumn. You know, fun, festive, happy. I wish I was always in autumn. It would be great to always be raking it in, right? If all you ever did was harvest, if all you ever had to do was harvest, wouldn't it be something? Good vibes. I think you probably mean the actual, all that pumpkin. Do y'all buy into the whole, okay, let's put pumpkin in everything now? Pumpkin is one of the few sort of food items that, you know, it exists as an ingredient, but it's not something that you ever just eat. You know, there's no consuming it. Nobody's just going to sit down with a big old plate of pumpkin and eat it. It's just an ingredient. SpaghettiOs is in hibernation. Hi, Barry. Hi, Coach. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I know I'm behind on the chat, but I want to make sure I get everything. Captain says, I'm in the season now of anger and torment. Mez says, the weather feels like spring, but I'm being forced to finish out winter. Self-care and hibernation. Tim is in the season of growth and strength. Strength attributed to by growth. Tim loves pumpkin season. Okay. Shark Day says it would be great to harvest for a while. Only like the fall because Bath and Body Works has all those good candles. Well, I guess, there's a way that I guess you can kind of stock up on that. I don't think candles necessarily go bad that quickly. So you could probably stretch that vibe out for a while. Bomb is in the building. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that things are going well. All right. We're thinking about the season that we are currently in. And there are a lot of signals that kind of accompany the various seasons. And maybe kind of understanding what needs to happen at that time can give us a cue as to how we can organize our days so as to make the most of what the season has to offer. Britt's like, I'm trying to get my body right. Yeah, I'm trying to have a hot girl summer. Hayden McCracken, good morning. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the seasons right now. Let us know, what season are you currently in? What season are you currently in? Bomb, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate you. So I want to give a shout out to Tim, Tim gave us it's the inspiration for this next prompt, sent something over for me to take a look at. And I encourage you, I mean, many of you have inspired prompts. And if you ever have ideas, feel free to hit me up. If you have something that you think would add to the conversation, you know how to reach me. So where we going next? Y'all can shout out if you like it. I'm gonna make Tim take responsibility. If you like it, if you like this prompt, you can thank Tim. If you hate it, you can thank Tim. Chino says, spring, my positive energy is growing. If anyone here isn't doing so hot, just know if I can get out of this negativity, you can too. Believe me, I've walked through hell before, barefoot. I believe in you. Thank you for those encouraging words, Chino. I'm in whatever season that represents between action and planning. I'm in the in-between, Shakti says. Tim says the season is the reason that we're here. And I'm wondering if that's cuffing season that you're talking about. Is anybody still trying to extend cuffing season into, I think once Valentine's Day hit, it's like wearing white after Labor Day if you still, in cuffing season. Oh man, now's the time to work on your fitness. Start getting ready for the next cuffing season so you can be ready. All right. So, wherever the world is, whatever the sun is telling you, wherever we are in the annual orbit, your life might be on a different rhythm, and that's fine. But the important thing is to try to create seasons so that you have an opportunity to rest and recover. J-Man is here. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a minute since I've seen you, but I'm certainly glad to. Hope that you've been doing well. Here we go, folks. Let's see what we got here. And I'm hoping that this will show and you'll be able to read these. This is about one of the ways that we create seasonality is by finding a way to rest, to take a break in the action. So this is types of rest, ways to rest. Jovi is here. Welcome in, Jovi. It's good to see you this morning. Brandy, thank you so much for being here. J-Man has been living. That's where we start. So, the prompt that you see in the background, types of rest. Think about what are your favorite ways, or what are the ways that you recharge? Do you have some strategies in place? What are your favorite ways to recharge? Once again, shout out to Tim for sharing this with me. Said, hey, this might be a good conversation to have. And I think it's great because a lot of times we don't know. Maybe we've been kind of trapped in a cycle of constant activity and we don't know ways that we can get a break. So you can choose from one of these. There's solitude, alone time. Shark Day says, I've loved solitude to recharge, but people like to harass me and tell me it isn't good for me and to stop. Kaloli is here. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome in, Keone, and welcome to Spoon. Thanks for joining us. So you like solitude, and there is a distinction between solitude and isolation, right? Sometimes people think that you're isolating yourself, and they're like, no, you need to be around some people. It's like, nah, fam, I need to be around me. So if you understand that that's one of the ways that you need to bring yourself back, then, it might be useful to communicate that to people. And also, there's one thing, solitude is beautiful and necessary. And an interesting point that I heard someone say, you can let me know what you think about this. If you find yourself constantly needing solitude to recharge, it might just be that you're naturally an introvert and that's kind of how you do. But if you need it all the time, it might be because you're not feeling like you can be authentic in the spaces where you are. Britt, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the spoons. I appreciate it. And you all perked up, I see. I see you all perked up. I love that. Thank you. I love to see new members rejoining the Purple Gang and subscribing to this experience. It means a lot. So, understanding that some of us, we just need that space, right? Like, I need to find some solitude to recharge. It's just, I'm not like you. I'm okay. I'll be okay. I just need a little time and space. And please, if y'all don't mind, Johnny is here. Welcome in. Thank you so much. That social battery is huge, right? We're talking about different ways that we rest. Shark Days uses solitude to recharge. It would be awesome, because of the number of people in the room and the speed of the chat, if you're answering the way that you like to recharge, put a little green check beside it so that I can see and I don't miss your response in the conversation. I really appreciate that. So for Mez, it is art and nature. Britt says, I need to recharge after being around a whole bunch of folks. Yeah. Art and nature. Art and sleeping. Kaloli says, permission to not be helpful. I felt that. Yeah. Sometimes we just need, hey, let me just sit this one out, I mean, I know that you have needs. You might, I know that there's some things that I can do that would make your life easier, but I just ain't got it right now. Hey, Kaloli, permission granted. Permission granted. Just don't be unhelpful. Like, don't be actively, sabotaging things. Senpai Stitch is here. Thank you. J-Man says, I never get rest these days. So permission to not be helpful is not the same as permission to be unhelpful. Curry-chan is here. It's good to see you this morning. For you, your types of rest include something unproductive and safe space. Those are the types of rest. Doing something unproductive. Sleeping to recharge. Captain Phantom says sleep. Rest like, Bomb's like, rest? What that is? What's rest? There's no rest for the wicked. I gotta get out here and get it. So the conversation in general is sort of about burnout. We started it talking about seasonality and how important it is to have some sort of cycle or, cyclical nature to the way that you operate. Times of engagement and times of recreation and times of rest. And it's not so much how much you are doing that leads to burnout. It is the fact that you're not imposing a level of seasonality to it, that you're not working in all the things that you need to regenerate yourself. So there's several types here. You might have other things that you do. Some of us struggle with it, and understanding what works for you might unlock some possibilities to others. So I appreciate the way that you're sharing. So the Heathen is in the chat. Thank you for being here. Cap's got to go to work. I'm hoping that you have a great day today, Cap. So finding ways to rest. And I know sometimes it's hard to make it a priority because we feel like there's so much to do. You could always be doing something, always doing something. But I think that we all recognize too that once you hit a state of burnout, we become less effective. Alberto is here. Good morning, Alberto. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hope things are going well for you, that you're safe and warm. Chino says, meditation, learn to utilize your chakra. Charge at that chakra. Meditation is underrated for folks who are, there are a few types for whom meditation is not necessarily in a traditional sense, it doesn't necessarily constitute a healthy choice. Sometimes people need to find a meditative state through a physical activity, but he's like, hey, yo, I'm in Dallas. I'm plenty warm. Okay, all right. But you never know. Even in winter has hit everywhere at different times. So glad to have you here. Enter a nickname is here as well. I think that when we value rest most is when we've had the least of it. When we've been deprived of that rest is when we say, man. All right. So if we are ready, I encourage you, there's the originator of this chart is tagged in the @ Remember, you can always swipe over and screenshot if you want to use this as a reminder, check out the page that it came from. And once again, thanks to Tim for sharing this with me. I know I was traveling yesterday and I was like, it's not unusual for me to prepare in the morning of, but because I slept in my own bed, as expected, I overslept. So, it was good to have a little bit of jump start on my preparation by having this here to include in the conversation. So, all right. If we're ready to go to the next prompt, we can go ahead and drop a heart in the chat. Alberto, thank you so much for the super likes, fam. I appreciate it. Rachel. Hi, Rachel. It's good to see you this morning. All right. So I think one of the prerequisites for being able to find rest is feeling safe, because it's hard to rest when you're in the heat of battle. You need to have a space to rest in, and whatever that space is, it has something to do with home, I think. So what makes a place feel like home? I think any place that you rest has an element of home to it, but what is it for you that makes a space or a place feel like home? Tim says no rest for the wicked. Yeah. What makes a place feel like home? So for Corey China, it's crystals, safety, my bed, my cat. They feel like home. I know my experience, and Alberto is here, so he can probably attest to this as well. They're sort of, it's too simple to say there's two types of people. So anytime someone starts a conversation like, well, there's two types of people, it's grossly exaggerated. But I will say that in times that I deployed for extended periods of time, you had the type of person who you share space with, who when they got into a space, however long they were going to be there, they made it home. Like they set their situation up. They're like, okay, I'm going to be here for a minute, so I'm going to situate everything just the way I like it so I can be comfortable. And they made themselves at home wherever they are. Other people, they just like, I'm just going to live right out this bag, y'all. Wherever I lay my hat. So some people valued home in a way, and they demonstrated that value in a different way. So Joe Vitigna says, we will make something feel like home. What makes something feel like home is Wi-Fi, my burrito blanket, and food. So sometimes there are elements of home that we can bring with us and make the spaces that we occupy more fit for us. So Shark Day says, incense, solitude, cat, drawing, fresh air, and freedom to cry to myself makes a place feel like home. If I feel like I can cry to myself, I feel at home. So Tim says, the ability to be open, fed, and naked makes a place feel like home. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you can be naked, there is a level of, you've made yourself at home. You've made yourself at home. So for Rita, it is music that makes a place feel like home. And Rita will listen to one song on repeat all day. And as much as I know she misses me being around, I know that she's going to enjoy, you know, playing the music out loud, you know, without the headphones on. 'Cause, you know, I'm like, okay, I don't mind. It's cool. I like music too. But we can't listen to the same song all day. So she's been relegated to headphones. She was relegated to headphones while I was around, out of like respect for my sanity. But now, you know, she'll be able to just blast that same song all day. So Chino says, wherever I lay my head is home for me. That's like a superpower. It's a superpower to be able to make yourself at home anywhere. Mez says, people who allow me to relax and be myself make a place feel like home. So Alberto says, Prime Video, the notepad on my iPhone, and the ability to speak to my kids and family make a place feel like home. Yeah, that's beautiful. Those are some good ingredients, right? I got to have some entertainment. So I guess the Prime Video means you also need some kind of internet connection. And Alberto's being quirky. He's like, nah, Netflix is all right, but I need that Prime Video. What is the series on Prime that has you captivated, or what are you watching on Prime? Welcome back, Kaloli. So Alberto's getting into Jack Reacher. All right. All right, that's what's up. I finally caught up. I appreciate your patience as I work through the chat a little bit slowly. I've kind of figured out that, it won't scroll. If I touch it, it won't scroll, and I can scroll at my own pace. So even if I'm reading it behind you, so hopefully if you put the check mark on it and it's related to the background, I'm pretty sure to catch it. So I appreciate you for participating, and thank you so much for sharing all the things that make a place feel like home for you. Sometimes home is based on the things that you get to see. There's some things that you can only see at home, or seeing a thing makes you feel like you're at home. So sometimes it's, So Britt says, these pancakes are fire. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're having a great breakfast this morning. Mo is here. Welcome in, Mo. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the things that make a place feel like home. And the context where this comes up for us is talking about ways that we create seasonality in our experience. And an element of seasonality is finding rest. And a place that you can find rest is usually at home, whether you're actually there or whether you're creating the experience of home somewhere else. Let us know, what are some things that make a place feel like home to you? So Alberto says, one thing I do miss is G making breakfast in the DFAC. It made Raleigh feel like home. So what Alberto is referring to is my occupation when I was in the Army, as I was a cook. So as a cook, people come to eat. A young soldier especially, they come get breakfast, and you're there giving them the first meal of the day, having a conversation with them. It's a huge part of creating a sense of normality for a soldier. It's an important part of the routine to sit and be able to share a meal with folks, and to have that meal be tasty and served with care and respect. That was sort of like the big part of the gig. So everyone knew the cooks, right? Because you know who feeds you, right? You're going to know who feeds you. So, yeah. SOK is here. Welcome in, SO. It's good to see you this morning. Matt says, I love to cook for people. And when they can cook for me, it definitely makes it feel like home. Yeah, it's little things like that. They're little things that we can do for each other in that space that's safe. And the sense of home comes between, like, in the relationship between the people. It's not even about the location. There's just an energy that exists in a place that feels like home. There's a level of comfort and ease. So, yeah. Alberto, thank you so much for the spoons, fam. I appreciate it. All right. Sitting in a space feeling like home, I think, is a very warm and comfortable space to sit in. I mean, doesn't it feel great to just think about this? Orange Day says, orange spice tea with honey and the smell of freshly cut grass. reminds me of my childhood home. Yeah, home can exist in a lot of different sensory experiences. I'm getting my words all tangled up. I apologize. Home can permeate the senses in many ways. Alberto says, did you hear that? Yeah, I know y'all heard that. Y'all heard me stumbling. Thank you so much for bringing it, for putting a spotlight on my stumbles. It get like that sometimes. So I'm definitely feeling at home right now. All right. We're going to keep the same energy. Esso says, the security makes a place feel like home. Yeah, beautiful. Steamed apple juice with chai. Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go, folks. I love this energy. We're just going to sit here for just a second. Mo says, love in any context. And Mo is back, draped in that beautiful purple. I love that. It's beautiful. Look, Cholo Army is in the house. Good to see you, fam. Thanks for coming in. It's been a minute. I follow you on IG now, so I've been able to see some of your work, but it's great to have you in the space with us again. Matt says, I realize that there's no place like home, which is within myself. I can be at home anywhere. If you can carry home with you, that's a beautiful thing. I know we've talked about this before. How we had an art exhibit called Finding Home, and looking at all the different ways that people define and create a sense of home. John Coltrane's album Soul Train from front to back feels like home. Hi, Megan. Welcome in. It's good to see you this morning. We're talking about things that, what makes a place feel like home. And, this feels like home for me right now. I'm here chilling. I'm swinging back and forth in my chair, smile on my face, feeling all the warmth of everyone, the connections that we are making with each other. It's a beautiful place. A lot of beautiful things to see. Megan says, energy makes a place feel like home. Tati is here. Hi, Tati. Welcome. So, one of the dangerous things that kind of happened when we figured out that we could keep working even when we were at home is that sometimes, and for some of us, home lost some of its sort of sacred appeal. It lost some of the magic that, made it feel like a place of retreat, because everything was happening there. It's like we were piling up a lot of ghosts in the corner. All of the different people that we have to be, I feel like in a real way, we shed our identities when we should be able to shed all of the extra identities that we carry in the world when we walk through the door of our home. Here, I can just be me in my raw and original state. I don't have to be whatever role it is that I play in the world. I can let that go. And doing so gives you a sense of rest. And some of us have lost that. Alberto, thank you so much for the spoons. Appreciate it. Love the support. I think what Alberto's trying to do, it seems like Alberto is trying to overtake Mez. It's like, I'm trying to get up on that board, yo. I'm trying to see what's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. So thank you so much for the like. All right. Yeah, people come back from home and they're still at a work, they're still in a work mindset. Um, and they just forget how to just be. So Richard is in the building. It's good to see those fists up in the chat. We're talking about what makes a place feel like home and what are the special things and features of home that give it such a magical reality and power in our experience. All right. Let's take a couple breaths and let's get ready to go into the next little bit of this conversation. Once again, I thank you so much for sharing all the things that, all the things that make home a reality for you. So I think that there is a distinction between, pure rest and recreation. I think both are required. Sometimes when we are tired, we think that we need just pure rest, of pure inactivity, when a lot of times what we need is we need some form of recreation. We need to recreate ourselves through a different activity that addresses the deprivation that we might experience when we are engaged in our occupation. We're required to do some things. And then there are also things that we have a desire to do that kind of gives us space to be who we are, expresses who we are in an active way, makes us feel like us, Shark Day says, it's already been an hour. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, baby. This is like a time warp. So, yeah. Alberta says, I'm on the board, but I'm not at the top. I see you, fam. I appreciate it. Megan says, I feel like this is a meditation stream. It's beautifully done and very relaxing. Well, thank you, Megan. I'm glad that you are enjoying it. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it's a little more, there's a little bit more energy in the space, but we always try to keep it positive. Alberto, thank you so much. You're determined. I love that. I love that. All right. So what is your favorite form of recreation? Shark Day says, I'm convinced you're a supernatural being just observing us and learning. I'm not supernatural. I'm very human. I'm very human. When I listen back, I'm growing through this process with you. and I'm appreciating my own personal growth. And more than anything, I'm appreciating the growth that I'm seeing from everyone who's been involved in creating this experience over the course of time. All the contributions that you make in the conversation make me better. So, for Chino, favorite form of recreation is hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing. I think it could be just part of that is being out in nature, right? That's a part of it. Being out on the water, being in the woods. All right. I was listening back to, I mentioned earlier, I was listening back to an old episode, and at the time, I was working with the playlist was beautiful. But at the time I wasn't really keeping track of which playlist I used on each day. And I'm so disappointed. I was like, where are these songs at? Where is this stuff? I want to play it again. So F in the chat for me, for past me, for not being more diligent in keeping the track of which playlist went with which day. Because I'm like, man, I like this. I want to do this again. I'm better about it now, though. All right. So we've been talking about signs in the chat, which I love. Now let's talk a little bit about recreation. Alberta says, believe it or not, and only on Saturday, I still like to play a little basketball or get a little airborne shuffle, go for a little run. Yeah, I gave up basketball as a form of recreation. I can remember the exact moment that it happened. I was at the Y, and I was out there, old man in the gym, sinking jumpers or whatever, It's like, okay. Young buck comes in. He said, hey, you want to play some 21? I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's play some 21. I was like, here you go. So young dude, he had jeans on, right? He wasn't even dressed for the gym. He had jeans on. He had on some wireless Beats by Dre. He didn't have his sneakers laced up all the way. He was sagging. It was like he was just, he was just like whatever. And I was like, oh man, he out here. I'm gonna give this young buck the business. He ain't, he was too cool. Man, when I tell you, I think I tore my meniscus out there that day. I was trying so hard, and I was trying so hard going full out, and he was effortlessly giving me that work. And I was like, you know what? This isn't fun for me anymore. Maybe this moment has passed for me. Let's just, I don't know. Maybe I could play horse with that dude, with just jumpers, but like playing, I was like, man, this is ridiculous. So I let that one go. So what are some of your forms of recreation? He stole that from me. Yeah, he took that from me. Oyo says, smooth tunes. Maybe making them, maybe listening to them is a way that you regenerate and recreate yourself. So the difference between rest and recreation is one is active. Oh, you said this, what I'm playing right now. Oh, you're making a comment on the playlist. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying the vibes. Oh, man. So recreation. Some of us, a lot of times we undervalue it. Like we don't make the time for it because we feel like, I don't got time for that. I got too much stuff to do. And if that's the case, I think that's one of the reasons that we burn out is we operate under the false belief that we can just go and not, regenerate ourselves through a different activity. For Shark Days, it's art and spooky podcast. I listen to horror stories to sleep. Yeah. You want to have some nightmares? That might be a counterproductive strategy in terms of getting the rest that you need, because you need to be able to sleep well, to rest, and then you listening to all that stuff that's going to make you scare awake. Alberto, thank you so much for the popcorn. Alberto's new and he's just trying to see what all of these things here, what all this stuff I can throw up here, what it looked like. I appreciate it, fam. It's a lot of I love the support. I really appreciate it. All right. So for Shark Days, it's like hard. I got a weird brain. It's like relaxing for me to hear death and destruction and gore. It helps me sleep. Alberto, you say you trying to be in the top spot. I hear you, fam. I hear you. Hey, let me just say, man, it's been here for 2 years, yo. And also, there's other people. You might be the top spot today, but it's other people who are not in the room right now. You know, good about it. I've been doing this a long time, fam. But, you know, I appreciate the love. I thank you so much, you know. He's starting a war, but the people he need to really be fighting with are not in here. The people who you really need to fight aren't even in the room right now. So, you know, keep coming back. You know, even if you climb to the top today, you're gonna come in here on another day like, man, I'm not even on the board. But you know, do your thing. All right. Favorite forms of recreation. We can keep thinking about that. I do have some other prompts that I want to get to, and I know the vibe has been upbeat and positive up to this point. So Tim says, skating. Yeah. Skating. It's cool to get out there and move your body to the music and glide across the floor. Megan says, I'd never done recreation. Oh, Megan, come on. You must have had some form of recreation. Played a game. Ben says drugs are my favorite form of recreation. Recreational drug use. Okay. Some people done that. Skating to the JB's hot pants. Yeah, I love it. All right. Are y'all ready to go to the next prompt? Because I definitely want to kind of bring this home. And you've shared so much. So many of you have shared so many of your experiences, a lot of great things. And I feel like some of y'all have left some stuff off the list out of a sense of like, you know, this is a family show, so you might not necessarily want to say everything that you do for recreation, which is fine. You know, everything doesn't need to be our business. If you want to answer out loud, you can just think about it in your mind and smile. So let's get ready to go to let's go to the next prompt. Yeah, Shark Day says crying alone and drugs. Yes, great contributions to the conversation. Yeah, it's all good. We all have our different ways that we cope. All right. So this is an easy one. Most of you know the answer to this, whether you're willing to admit it or not. But here's the question. What is the biggest waste of your time? What is the biggest waste of your time that you are actively choosing to do? The biggest waste of your time. Shark Days, why was the first thought some people's names? Oh man. I said what, not who. You like who? I saw who. Megan says staying in bed and overthinking. Chino says spoon. Adjusting other people to drop. Just dealing with their mess and what they pressure me to do. Talking to someone you know you shouldn't be talking to is a big old waste of time. Why shouldn't you be talking to them? I'm wondering. Dealing with people and their lack of common sense. Fighting with people who aren't open-minded or educated. Yeah, it's like talking to a wall. talking to a wall. Our brother says she's ratchet but fun. Well, there are ways in which you can make it not a waste of your time. Procrastinating on my work is a way that you waste your time. Alberta says, I know better. I know where this is going. So, doing things that you don't benefit from. Yeah, it's like there are things that we are, there's a lot of unbalanced situations that you might have in your life where you are investing and nothing is coming back. Our brother says, I catch flights, not feelings. That sounds familiar. Yeah, I think that there are things that we do that, we are just we do out of habit, but they have outlived their usefulness in our experience, but we just kind of do it. Megan says, acting like a therapist when you're not educated is a big old waste of time. Trying to communicate in an emotionally intelligent way with my mom. Shark Days, I don't know about, well, I guess if you haven't made the progress that you're looking for, arguing with Karen. I mean, I know a lot of Karens, and I really feel sorry for them for the way that their name has been dragged through the mud. It's unfortunate. Imagine being named Karen right now. But let's get back to this thing about communicating. So I guess in terms of relationships, sometimes, there are some people who we don't have a connection with, or they're not kind of operating on the same frequency as you. They are important to you. And maybe you even, you're in a situation where you are entangled with them and it's not an easy thing to get away from. But you can value the person and still create some boundaries for sure. Rachel says, it was a pleasure. I wish I could have participated. In spirit, I did. Much love. Thank you so much for being here. I knew you were here, and that's cool. I know that you can't always jump in. I know a lot of people are listening AFK, and sometimes something comes up and they just dying like, ooh, I just want to get in there and say something. Oh, man. So, trying to fit in has been a big old waste of time. You all are so wise in your understanding of your experience. Like, awareness is the first step, right? We understand these things that are not necessarily healthy for us. Even if we haven't figured out how to pull ourselves out of a cycle of negativity, we see it and know what it is. So, Chino says, having people trying to disrupt my peace, but admit it's fun seeing them wonder what's wrong with me. It's like, man, what's wrong with Chino? Chino's, I don't know. I don't get it. Megan says, hiding parts of myself to make others feel better is a big old waste of time. Shark Day says, I went from being a therapist for others to being a therapist for myself. At least trying to benefit from my tools. Yeah, I love that. So we recognize the things that are wasting our time. I think a lot of us have a pretty good grasp on that. Emma says, you can't pour from a cup that doesn't have water. What if it's got milk? You can't pour water from a cup that doesn't have water. Man says, not believing myself was a big old waste of time. Shark Days has a cup full of Monster. Mo is seething right now. I got a cup of Coke Zero for you. Of course you do. Of course you have Coke Zero. Mo's like, nope, unaffected. I'm good. I'm good. Welcome in, Miss. It's good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about the time wasters in our life and experience. And there have been a lot of really good answers, a lot of good insights. Shark Days, like, I need to lay off that Monster. Maybe so. Maybe so. I did go through my energy drink phase when I was, kind of doing work that had me up overnight. I was working a couple gigs, and I was pretty much, from 2 in the morning to like 8, and then again from 2 in the afternoon to 10. So that was for the birds. That was for the birds, because there was never a gap long enough to really like sleep or do anything, Man, that sucked. Miss says, hi, Mr. Jazz. I finally wrote something because of you. Thanks so much. Didn't know I needed you. Well, thank you. That's great to hear, Miss. And Mr. Jazz, I guess that could be another nickname for me. I have many nicknames. Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, G Money, Uncle G, Old Man, G Daddy. Oh man. But I'm great. I'm so glad that you wrote. Mr. Burton, G Strang. It's a lot of them. Coke Zero. Geriatric. Yeah, I'm geriatric. Yeah. All right. Yeah, have y'all a little fun. But let's congratulate Miss for, getting some words on the page. It's a really, when you have writer's block or creative block, sometimes you feel like you've completely lost yourself and you can't get back, and that's a heavy weight to carry around with you. So I'm glad that you were able to write some things, Miss. Gee, what's the math of the day? When is the workshop? I forgot. So I think, let me say, I'm going to be, it's next week. I have to look at the calendar to see the times. There's different times, different instructors, different times. You can't come, Miss. I'm sorry, not this time. So yeah. Maybe next time I'll do something here. So I don't know, maybe y'all want to know, I because I do workshops and stuff like that, and these sessions are not necessarily workshop like. If you would be interested in doing a workshop with me here on Spoon or on live, if you're watching live, if you want to have some content that's delivered sort of in the way that I teach rather than this, let me know. Maybe we could do something like that. But y'all have to be ready for it and like kind of show up with that mindset, because the interaction is a little bit different. Shark Days is pretending like I know what the workshop thing is. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Maybe we can do something. How much is it? Well, if I do it here, I mean, I'm not gonna charge admission. So 3 MO3. It's like how many spoons you got to drop. Well, I guess one way I could do a workshop is make it subscribers only. But no, I'm not going to do that. But we'll see. We'll figure something out. Maybe we can talk about that. We can talk about that. If it's something that you would be interested in. It's like, okay, I'm saying, see? Yeah, but everybody gonna be big mad. Oh man, Mez is like, I'm good. I'm perked up, so I'm down for everything. I know I need to because I'm not good with the names off the top of my head. I'll check my email later and circle back with you, Mo, and let you know what's going to be going on. What if we broke? Megan says, if we broke, we can't come. I don't know. Maybe you can get a sponsor. We do have Purple Fridays in here. So, Shark Day says, what type of stuff do you do? That's a great question. So, workshops that I give, there's, a big one is around storytelling. And the ways to own your story and share your story to create an impact. And that's sort of like the main one. I do some workshops around discovery. There's like a very specific, like we do prompts in here, but there's some very specific kind of activities that I guide folks through to create some things. Emma says, patience is a rarity in my brain. Yeah, I know. I'll send you, later today, but I'm home, I'm back. So as a part of my work day today, I'm going to summarize everything that's going on for that, on that end, Emma, so you can know what all is up. Like an emotional, spiritual, creative writing class. I guess you could say something like that. Yeah, for sure. So one of the programs that I ran was it was for adults in recovery. So it was at a recovery center, and it was one of those storytelling workshops, and they created and basically developed a script, and then we went out and filmed, made a short film together. And there's sort of like a process where it's sort of kind of collaborative art making process. It's like, it's the riddles for me. What's up? What's a riddle, Jovi? Who out here speaking in riddles? Oh, Alberto. Who here likes Starbucks? Hey, I like Starbucks. Star Schmucks is okay. All right. Okay, let's go to the I got one more for y'all, I think. What's your favorite Starbucks drink, I guess, since we on the subject? What's your favorite coffee beverage? Put it that way. It doesn't have to be from Starbucks. We're not gonna, Matt says, I'm down for a dirty chai with almond milk. I bet you are. I bet you are. Hot chocolate. I don't like coffee. I can feel that, Megan. Not everybody likes coffee. So Shark Day says caramel ribbon crunch. Have to have a cold drink, and I love caramel. My mom likes hazelnut everything. Hazelnut everything for Mo is espresso, 2 shots, and milk. Jovi says black coffee, it hits the soul. Venti caramel macchiato with 2 extra shots. It's specific, you know. Alberta got one of those drinks where they better not get wrong. It'll ruin your whole day. He said, Venti, I need a big boy. And he upside down. You want that upside down macchiato? I think black coffee would disintegrate my soul, says Shark Days, who drinks Monster Energy. If you drink Monster, if Monster doesn't disintegrate your soul, coffee won't. Chino says, black coffee, no sugar. I'm sweet enough as it is. Hey now. It's like, hey, Chino knows. Chino knows. Y'all need to grow up. Grow up and drink that coffee black. You're doing it wrong if you got to put a whole bunch of stuff in there. I'm talking like I don't put stuff in my coffee, but, you know, it's me. Megan says, I like my drinks cold, like my soul. Looks like muddy water, tastes like turpentine. I know. Yeah, that's a cadence. Gee my, I wanna go. Oh my, I wanna go. If drinks aren't cold, then I get acid in my throat. It's uncomfortable. I like my drinks hot and cold, depending on the day, just like my personality. Yeah. So do you get to drink the opposite of the rhythm of your personality? So if you're feeling hot, do you drink something cold? If you're feeling cold, you drink something hot? Do you look for the balance? Shark Day says, who knew coffee meant so much? I know. Maybe you need some more coffee segments in your journal. I know the conversations, yeah, it's a hot topic, right? Wait, was Alberto's and Shark Days just spit? Yeah, let's say. Hold on. Do I need to read that? Together? Yeah, that thing that Alberto says is like an army cadence. They say that in the army, the coffee's mighty fine. It looks like muddy water and tastes like turpentine. I don't want no more army knife. Gee my, I want to go home. I'm not gonna sing it like the cadence, but those are the lyrics. All right, I'll do the cadence. They say that in the army, the coffee's mighty fine. And then y'all have to sing along with me. So I'm gonna pause, y'all. Y'all gotta play along. Everybody, you gotta do it with me. So I'm gonna say it, and then you gotta do the call and response. And I'm gonna pause like Dora. You know how Dora the Explorer would be talking, and then she'll wait for you to talk back. So y'all got to repeat after me now. If y'all not repeating after me. All right. They say that in the army, the coffee's mighty fine. It looks like muddy water. It tastes like turpentine. It's so awkward to Paul. Like, yo. All right. Enough of this. Let's get this going again. And congratulations to you if you actually did it. Oh Lord, I want to go, but they won't let me go home. You're like, oh, out loud? Yeah, out loud. All right. So the prompt in the background has been up there for a second, but Emma was like, I'm anxiously typing. Where might the idea less but better fit into your life? Where might the idea less but better fit into your life? That is what. Let's think about that for a second while we contemplate our coffee drinks. First, what does that mean for you? Less but better. Less but better. A lot of times if we feel burnt out, overstressed, overcommitted, is because we just have too many different things going on. Oh, I don't know. Did y'all hear that? I don't know if y'all could hear that. It was kind of subtle, but I said, hold up, it's in the house. What's up? It's good to see you this morning, fam. Hope that things are going well for you. All right. I turned the music down so they could hear me say that. I'm back. I'm not really like hot on my soundboard yet. I got to get reacquainted with it because I don't, it's going to take a couple of days for me to get comfortable with all of the tools I have at my disposal. I know I got some, a lot of y'all have sort of sound cues that I use sparingly when I see you or in certain occasions. I'd pick some of them out, but I can't remember which. I got to remap them. Anyway, so less. Hearing your woman nag, less is better. So it's not less is better, less but better. So it's going to be really about focusing your energy in a very specific direction. Doing fewer things, but doing them better. Focusing on quality over quantity. Being fully present with the thing so that you can be there to experience it. So I think a lot of us, if we're bringing a conversation, and maybe it's helpful to think about, things in terms of kind of the arc of where we've been throughout today. We started talking about like burnout, and some of the things that lead to that. And the big thing that leads to the burnout is lack of seasonality, lack of a rhythm in your experience. If it's always just go and you just always on 11 and you don't have a way to cycle through periods of rest and regeneration, cycle through periods of disengagement and adding variety to your experience so that when you show up to do the thing that matters most, you have access to the best of your ability, where you can show up at your best. In order to do that, you need to regenerate. But the problem is, I think that we have these infinite to-do lists. Like there's just so many things that we feel obliged to engage with. So this prompt is an invitation to think about, maybe I can reduce some of that and then make the things that I do bring myself to better. There might be some things that are a waste of your time, so you can eliminate those completely. And now, with that extra bandwidth, so to speak, you can focus on like the few essential things that would make the biggest impact in your life. So do less. A lot of us need to do less, but make the things that we do better, richer, more meaningful, more engaging, more impactful. So, where could that be true for you? Naturally, we can afford to get rid of the time wasters, but there might be a few things that look like, there might be some things, obligations, right? It's like I've made these commitments and now, they are ruining or they are running my day in a direction that I don't want to go. So is there a way that you can pare things down and not be reactive to your situation? Instead, being responsive and discerning in the choices that you make and how you live your life, make your impact. Shark Day says less monster drinks and, replace them with something better. Maybe less over planning and just more doing to help myself. For sure. I think that a lot of times, we talked about thinking most of the best thinking happens outside of our heads. Our best thinking happens out in the world. So Tim says, let's talk, more walk. Let's talk, more walk. I think our fear of missing out plays on our ability to be better. We're stretched a bit too thin. So, do I need to take this on? Or is there a way that I can use what I'm already doing? Am I maximizing the things that I already have? Or am I running to something new because I'm afraid of the depth? Am I afraid to double down on this one thing? Is this getting difficult for me now? So because it's getting a little difficult now, let me jump to something new and add that to my plate and play around in the shallow end of that new situation. But now I got two situations, and then we work with that one, and then we kind of feel stuck in the other one. And then that new one gets to the spot where, oh man, this is getting a little tough. I don't know what to do in this situation. So I need a new situation, So now there are three things that you are half-assing, third-assing. I don't know, not even half, not because it's three. You're not able to, make meaningful progress on any of them. And then when you ask for it, then you get it, you get the math. Quasha is here. Welcome in. It's good to see you this morning. So think hard. Think hard about maybe the things some things you can let go of. Simplify your situation a little bit. Yeah, this is a head scratcher. So letting go of that past, you need some help with that for sure. Yeah, some things, it takes a lot of work for sure. Inner child work is worth it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I want to remind everyone that you do have the option and ability when you come across one of these prompts. Sometimes it takes a little time sitting with them. And you might want to come back and just kind of reflect privately. Some of this stuff is none of our business, So you can always swipe the chat over to the right and screenshot and, come back to it later. Share it later. Maybe connect with me later Speaking of, there are links. If you look over in the notice, there are some links to places that you can find me and connect with me. One underutilized and available tool is the messenger tool here on Spoon. So if at any point you want to holler at me, you have a question, a follow-up, if there's a conversation that happened in the stream that you want to say more about and you didn't have a chance, feel free to drop me a message and I can bring those conversations back at a later date if it's relevant, or, hit me up right here in the messenger tool on Spoon. You can also join our Discord. You can put it on the wall. You can follow me on Instagram. There are a lot of ways to connect, and I encourage you to do that, to keep the conversation going for yourself. I always love it when folks screenshot these prompts and share them on their Instagram stories to keep the conversation going. I invite you to do that as well. But yeah, stay connected. If something comes to you later, I would love to hear it. And for those who are newer to this experience, just let me let you know what our schedule is. We do morning journal Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern time. I know that it's early, but we try to make it worth it. That's what I always say. We do prompts to kind of spark some personal reflection, introspection, and hopefully create a situation where your day is a little bit better than it would have been. It's better than it wouldn't. We want to make your day a little bit better. I can't talk right now. I'm a little bit distracted. But yeah, we do it Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern time. We also have Rhythm and Muse, which is Friday evening at 6 p.m. and then Writer's Room on Friday evening at 8 p.m. Writer's Room we have the calls open in a panel reading your responses to creative writing prompts. So we be prompt out in here. Sometimes we hang, but usually, we come in this space with some intention and hopefully leave with some tools, some insights, and maybe a smile on your face. So if you're here now, I would love to see you here again. And, follow the links in the notice to follow me on all the other platforms where I am available. See, I put a smile on Megan's face. That's what's up. It's good to have something that can put a smile on your face. Having a smile on your face is underrated. So if you're in here now, put one on yours. See how it feels. If you want to, respectfully. All right. Let's go ahead and go to our final prompt of the day. And it's really about how we want to show up to our experience. How are we going to show up to life today? There's a lot of conversations about the things that we need to do, but what's more important is what we need to be, the way we want to be. So what are the top 3 things on your to-be list? What is on your to-be list for today? Because our doing naturally emerges from who we are being. Tim says, I never used to wake up this early, but it's become a routine for a little over a week now. I needed this and didn't know. Well, I'm glad that this is a part of your routine. I'm really glad that it's a part of your routine. Quasha says, to be loving, patient, and faithful to God. Those are the 3 things on my to-be list for today. Shark Day says, I always got into things thinking how to be better for others, for myself, and how to be happier. Be better for others, be better for yourself, be happier. Always be kind and helpful. Yeah, sometimes it's good to know that you are needed, to recognize and to bring the best of yourself to the world, and, to see it have an impact on another person. So I love that for you, Shark Days. Med says to be punctual, present, thoughtful. Jovi is to be present, be present, be present. Yeah, be present. Retha says happy, prayerful, and listening. Tim is going to be necessary. Be necessary. I love that. Be grateful and be communicative. Use your words. Use your words. Love that. There are a lot of wonderful things that we can be, or that we can try to be, we can strive to be. May not always work out, but if that is the direction that we are heading, then it is all for the better. Oh man, the sun is up, and it's yeah, I like that the sun is up. I like that the sun is up. I'm going to do a lot of walking today. Hey, Cherry Chew, welcome in. Let us know what's on your to-be list as you catch the last couple minutes. We're going to get ready to do I told y'all it was going to be a little bit, the music. I had one little pause today as I was switching playlists, but it is a lot easier to navigate. So it's about that time. Y'all know what time it is when you hear this sound. We are wrapping up the session for today. It's been a wonderful session, and it's been great to have each and every one of you here, everyone in the VIP, and, backstage or whatever, Alberto says, I won't figure out how to go backstage. I'm like, maybe I can let some folks backstage on the Friday afternoon stream. Maybe have a few folks. Okay, but right now I have to kind of keep it simple. It's a lot happening here for the morning time, but we'll figure it out. Okay, I forgot to start shouting everybody out, so let me get started on it. Like, who's up in the house? I'm about to let you know. With no doubt, we got Mez up in here, yeah. SOK is up in here. We got Alberto, who's up in here, who's trying to climb the charts. We got Inner Nickname and Chino in here. Yeah, appreciate your presence in the space. Like, I don't know, I'm saying yeah funny, ain't I? We got Jovi up in here with one of the two phones. I don't know which one that you really own right now, but we'll keep it on the hush hush. I appreciate you so much. Jehovah Thickness is up in here. Tallest Known is up in here. Feeling Better is clear. We got Shark Days up in the spot. And Bomb is here, is making it hot, blowing up and making it hot. I'm stumbling a little bit. Got a little bit distracted while I'm trying to spit, but we're still gonna make it all the way to the bottom of the list. All the way. We got Tim up in here. Thanks for that prompt. And Quash is up in here. I ain't going front. Cherry Chew is up in here. The co-host with the mostest. Raise your glass and do some toasters. Steve is here from the Hold Up TV. All right. I know I'm not going to reset it. We're just going to let the next song play, and it's going to be a whole different vibe. It'll be all right. Also in the place to be today, we have Quasha. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your presence in the space and your energy. We have Warrior Monroe in the house. We have Theta in the house. Mo is here. Mo is about to get ready to go to work, maybe. So, yeah. If you want to go to work with Mo, that's going to happen right after this. Cholo Army is here. It's been a while. It's good to see you. And thank each and every one of you, those who are listening, and all the places. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. All right.